So, i.e. Tony at the bookshop gets loads of my old Weird and Wonderful props.
Oh, in Morecambe? Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so I love that they often get people sending me like an Instagram thing saying, oh God, there's this great shop in Morecambe and it's like, you would love it. I'm like, yeah, that's half the stuff from my studio. It's got all of that super cheesy sort of like Hollywood Technicolor, and then the trees, that is all like foraged mosses and everything. Oh, wow. But I think I was thinking the same thing. I don't know why I have to apologise when people come here, because I always think it looks like such a mess. But once you start to paint all that with light, and then the shadows fall onto that backdrop from the trees, so it's all like witchy fingers and everything. And then you've got the person standing on the pumpkin, it then becomes like this really B-movie-esque sort of set, which just takes on a brand new life of its own. So it's kind of like, step one is making all those things. Step two, in a way the most important step before the person comes in, is like the lighting of it. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a bit like cooking. I'll just kind of add and like I might spend 20 minutes fussing around at the top of that tree up there with a light just so I could get the shadow of the branches just right. But I did actually meet this guy that was a cinematographer in London years ago, and he very generously gave me an afternoon, and I was able to kind of learn about, he would work in film noir, so he would say I would spend half an hour for like just to light a telephone, and in the end the shot might be 2 seconds of the actor's hand reaching for the phone. He said, but I just wanted the shadow to give it an air of menace. Right. And I thought it was really, it stuck with me, that one specific thing of like, it's a telephone, but he wanted the Baker light just to hit the light, to hit it in a certain way. And often when you look at those old films, it's just, everything is always poetic with the light in. I just think it looks really, really brilliant. The way, it's that care on detail that people just don't have anymore. You know, so today you'll see it, it might just be like, all that material looks bloody awful, but once you whack a light into it, you've got the ridges of the fabric lit and everything, it does look really, really great. Right, a little bit of that.
Right, Neil.
Right, Padge, let's get you nice and central. So first off, this guy here is going to be your key light. So when I said it's like proper old Hollywood light that's just going to literally hit on the face, and its sole purpose is just to give you like an absolute sort of like key light as we're going. So I'm not going to worry about a pose or anything just yet. I just want to get that light. You'll just feel it sort of on your face.
Right, yeah.
A lot of it I'm going to get you sort of looking out this way or over beyond this light, but just be aware these all fire at 125th of a second as we're going. Yeah. So they will just give you little kind of like beats of light. So sometimes people blink or whatever, but it's absolutely fine. We're going to get enough shots to cover that. But yeah, they fire at 125th of a second. And then basically what I want to do at the moment, now that you're in, is just see where my light is going to fall. Just want this to create. So already I've got this brilliant, I just want it to feel like sort of broken light and bits of shafts of light. So it feels like, how it will look, it'll almost be like a sort of 40s version of a circus. Right. Yeah. At night time, and I kind of want it to imply that it's like a working space, but the light's got to sort of fall in and create little shafts and things. Nice. So it's not going to feel like super bright, it's going to feel like a kind of like, almost like backstage at night at the circus. Right. So it'll have an atmosphere. So it's just sort of building this up layer by layer, so everything feels very, we've got lots of little hot pockets of light and soft shadow and everything. And if you give me a little, if you step right into pretty much into the middle of that whole sort of setting, so half a tiny step back, Padge. Great. Great. So looking towards me, and just hold it right there. Get this light plot. Great. Hold it. And I bring those legs together, so we've just got like something a bit more, just give that a bit of a squeezeroo. And then you're going to pull from the neck and tilt head down just a touch. So if you feel a bit of a strain on the sides of the neck here, that's good. Just got to allow your face to sit in a nice sort of frame. Hold that there. And just look over towards your key light. And I think with the hands, I almost want to kind of like feel like there's like a sort of gentle hold almost, and just keep it nice and sort of relaxed. So keep those legs sort of no bend in the knee, just like a nice solid, and bring those in together just a tiniest little bit. Just give the shoulder a bit of a shake, so it just feels like, yeah. So it's almost just like I'd come from London Times in 1939. It's just very, very soft. Hold them up for me. This is brilliant. And you've got to lean in a tiny bit more, so you could almost rest that hand on the knee. That's it. And keep the eyes just towards me. For me, and I think I'm speaking for lots of artists, I think it nourishes your soul a lot more to actually physically make something with your hands.
Nice.
And also you have that human effort of having to do that, to think about it, to execute it, and the satisfaction of having something that you've done with your hands. It's just a totally different process.
So your photographs are not just photographs, they're the sets, the props and everything that you've made by hand.
Yeah.
And that's your whole artistic world that you've created.
Yeah.
And the photos are just the end of it,
So,
or part of it.
Yeah, so the photograph is the end of it, but also the fact that I'm looking into my studio now, which is like a shithole, but everything's really beautiful once those things are lit and it comes together. But it's also a little bit like, you know, my analogy is like if you put a baked potato into a microwave oven, when you eat that, it's all a bit rubbery and it tastes a bit weird. If you put it in an oven for an hour and a half, its skin is all burnt and crispy, the potato is fluffy, its texture is totally different. The satisfaction of putting your knife into it and it all crumbles, it's a very different experience. Having the same potato, at the end of the day, you're just enjoying it in a totally different way and its feeling is very different.
Fab, yeah.
Weird thing to say, I know, but...
Amazing.
I always say that analogy is a weird one, but I think, because I love a baked potato and I love the way it all crumbles and it, you know, and if I'm on a rush, I'll whack it in a microwave, but it always tastes like that. It's not as satisfying. Satisfaction. Tilted with the sort of foot up and quite looking over towards your light, but I feel this needs to be quite at it. And that pull from the neck and just a slight drop of your head forward for me. That's it. Hold that for me. Good. So turn up your head just towards that light. That's it. Drop down for me. Great. Great. This is brilliant. And then you can give me that sort of statesman-like stand right towards me. That's great. And then have a play for me, Padge. You can move into very, very simple sort of shapes. Right, this is good. Brilliant. Hold that, and just upwards. That's perfect, Padge. That's brilliant.
Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome.
So, what happens now, Neil?
So basically, we've got loads of different shots. I'm just having a quick look through now. What you're going to pick from this is your top 5 edits. Now obviously, I mean, I'm looking at one now where you've got your foot up on the workbench, and I absolutely love that. But clearly the choice is yours as the sitter. And I think what would happen afterwards is that I would choose your top 5 shots compositionally that sort of work for you, and then there is a little process after that, once you've chosen them, to get the final high-res images. You can give me your own edit notes. I mean, for example, I'm looking at this now. I can see the top of the set, which I'll digitally build back into the final sort of photo. But there are little kind of tweaks and edits. I think I'd like to kind of mute the colours a little bit on some of these to give them more of almost like a 40s sort of Picasso feel. But you can also give me your own edit notes as you're going. I mean, that's really important for me, that I can follow what you want. But clearly what I would do is, where I can see where there's a gap in the straw, there's a gap at the top of the set, I'm going to build those back in sort of digitally afterwards. But most of this process is done in the light. And as you're seeing it now, as you're looking at the kind of light edits, nearly everything I do is I'm going to say like 85% in camera rather than relying on a digital process afterwards. But it's more to clean up the photos, so we've got like a perfect shot after.